last night on KGW News. Burglars caught on camera ransacking a local store.
They're evil thieves, I call them, because they're hurting my dream, my life.
How the owner says he lost even more waiting hours for police.
Will Social Security run out of money? Our Verify team looks into the claim since payments are about to go up.
But first, making a safe haven for people and their pets who had to flee a wildfire.
We got them all, and down the road we went as fast as we could do it.
Your news starts now.
Good evening, and we begin with an update on the Nakia Creek fire burning near Camas. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. We have some progress to report tonight compared to 24 hours ago. The fire is slowing its spread and sitting at now just over 1,500 acres and 5% contained, with more help. An additional 140 fire crews on the way tomorrow.
And as Catherine Cook reports, while the number of people under evacuation alerts has now dropped dramatically, thousands of people in Clark County are collectively still holding their breath.
Nightfall as dusk and ash settle over Camas Monday evening. About 9 miles northeast of here, the Nakia Creek fire burns on. On Sunday, it broke containment lines, exploding in size from 150 acres to more than 1,500. And as firefighters battle on, investigators are sharing a new clue. This photo from the Clark County Fire Marshal's office. They're looking for this light-colored Subaru. It was caught on video near where the fire is burning on Larch Mountain. The video was taken the day the fire started, October 9th, around 3:30 p.m. Investigators say they believe 2 women and 2 men were connected to the vehicle, but they haven't said how they might be connected to the fire. On Sunday, 3,000 homes were evacuated as people and pets escaped the fire zone.
Down here we have the ubiquitous Sammy.
Sammy and Jaxie here belong to Dwight Daly from Washougal. He and his wife evacuated on Sunday afternoon with just the clothes they were wearing.
Just never expected to have a situation where, somebody from the fire department is going, "Okay, you got 3 minutes, get out of there."
At first, Dwight checked into a motel, but when his dog started barking, he knew he couldn't stay. That's when he found the Red Cross shelter at Camas Church of the Nazarene.
They were fantastic. I come in at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, okay, the king has arrived. Let's get everything going here. Hey, you got food over there? You got bedding over here? Yeah, you got blankets over here? What do you need, pal?
The pet-friendly shelter looks this way because of the Humane Society for Southwest Washington. They brought crates, bedding, and food to help the Red Cross. On Sunday night, nearly 30 people stayed at the church, and most brought at least one pet.
It means the world. It means that a family is together, that they know that their pets are with them. They don't have to worry. They can focus just on staying safe.
How much do these guys mean to you?
Everything. Yeah.
There is no shortage of help here. Come dinner time,
something super tasty and super nutritious.
Portland-based nonprofit Feed the Mass delivered hot meals for evacuees. It may be their last dinner away from home for some. By Monday afternoon, Clark Regional Emergency Services reported that fire zones were decreasing. For Dwight, it's a moment of promise and gratitude.
I even get choked up now about it after 7 times. If you ever want to donate to somebody, these are the people you want to donate to.
And Dwight, of course, is talking about the Red Cross Cascades region and the Humane Society for Southwest Washington. Both nonprofits say the best way to help right now is by making a financial donation, not dropping off supplies. The Red Cross tells me they plan to stay here as long as they're needed. In Camas, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, let's hope everyone can go home and stay home soon. The wind was a major factor in the fire spread this weekend. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino for more on what crews are facing right now, Matt.
These are the peak wind gusts we had over the weekend, Laurel, and they were significant. We had 60-mile-an-hour gusts at Crown Point. It was that western side of the gorge, including where the fire is, that really had the strong east winds. Corbett 53, Portland Airport a gust of 31. Thankfully, those winds have died off. In fact, the wind is calm. It's 58. Humidity has come up as well. All of that helps. What will really help is the rain that's on the way. We have to wait a few more days for that. The air quality in the Portland area is still in the moderate category. It is worse up in Clark County because you're closer to the fire. But things will begin to improve a little bit, I think, on Wednesday, then much more Thursday, Friday, and beyond. Will be done with the smoke by that point, and that'll include down around Eugene, where they're dealing with smoke from the Cedar Creek fire. You can see these air quality warnings extend from south of Eugene up to the Canadian border, and that goes until 6 o'clock on Thursday, because that's when we see this major shift in the weather pattern develop. So here's the smoke model. We'll have smoke around again tomorrow. In fact, it might be a little bit thicker tomorrow. I think it'll back off a bit on Wednesday because we pick up a light east wind. Still hazy. We won't get rid of that until Thursday or into Friday. So light east winds developing tomorrow. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for the fire. They won't be as strong as they were this weekend. Smoky again Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the rain set in beginning on Friday. Much more on that later, guys. Back to you.
Here it comes. Thanks, Matt. Well, let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. Multnomah County jury awarded 2 people hurt in a massive natural gas explosion more than $10 million. The explosion in Portland destroyed several buildings around Northwest 23rd and Gleason back in 2016. 2 people sued the Lloyd Clark Pipeline Company. Those pipeline workers hit a gas line that triggered that explosion. Thankfully, nobody was killed.
A pedestrian died after they were hit by a car this morning in southeast Portland. Police say the person was struck on Southeast Stark Street at 146th. They add the driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating with investigators. The victim has not yet been publicly identified.
And take a look at this video of burglars ransacking a Portland vape shop. The video shows a car ramming into the house of vape. There it is on Southeast Powell Friday morning. And then the thieves scrambled to grab as much stuff as they could.
What they used, it's a giant garbage bag. It's like 44 gallon or 48 gallon. It's a giant, and you could imagine this is a tiny bottle. They all fill it. They all like filled it up so much, so quick. Less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes, and the damage did not end there. Surveillance cameras then caught other folks walking by also just stopping in to steal product. The owner says it took several hours for police to respond. He says he lost more than $200,000 between the stolen goods and the damage.
We are now just 3 weeks away from the general election, and time is running out to register if you want to cast a ballot, and we hope you do. The registration deadline in Oregon is tomorrow, the 18th. Head to OregonVotes.gov to register or update your details. Now, in Washington, the online and by mail registration deadline is Halloween, so later. If you miss that, in Washington only, you can register to vote in person at your county elections office all the way through election night. That's 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 8th. We also have a number up on the bottom of your screen. Text the word vote to that number to get a link to all the registration details.
And as we ramp up toward Election Day, our team at The Story has been busy fact-checking some of the claims you've been seeing nonstop on TV. Now, last week they looked into an attack ad against Republican candidate for governor Christine Drazan. So tonight, Pat Doris is digging into one targeting her Democratic opponent, Tina Kotek.
As we get into this, I want to remind you I'm not on anyone's political team here. I'm not trying to help the Democrats or the Republicans or the non-affiliated candidates. I'm here to pull apart the ads and help you see which statements are true or false. All right, here's the first statement we want to take a look at.
She legalized tent cities.
So, not exactly. The ad refers to HB 3115. That's a bill that Kotek sponsored and helped push through the legislature. That did make it harder for cities and counties to crack down on homeless campers. It required that their action be objectionably reasonable, although it did not define what objectionably reasonable means. The bill also allows homeless campers the right to sue to force the government to prove that it's objectionably reasonable. So yes, it's accurate to say she sponsored that bill. No, it did not legalize tent cities, but it did make it harder for cities and counties to regulate them. Here's another claim.
And voted with Kate Brown to let murderers and rapists out of prison early.
This line refers to Senate Bill 1008 that made its way through the 2019 legislature. It changed part of Oregon's strict sentencing guidelines for violent crimes called Measure 11. The bill stopped teens from being automatically waived into adult court when charged with a serious violent crime. It also prohibited them from being sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The law was not retroactive, but later Governor Brown used her executive authority to commute the sentences of 75 people who would have been covered if it was retroactive. And that move infuriated a lot of people, including some leaders in Marion County. The county put out this statement noting that it affected 17 people in the county 8 convicted of murder, aggravated murder, or attempted murder, and 8 convicted of sodomy or rape. But before we get too far down this rabbit hole, let's get back to the initial statement. Did Kotek vote with Kate Brown to let murderers and rapists out of prison early? No, she did not. After examining this ad, I think it's clear that it is mostly false. I looked into 2 other claims from the ad. You can find the full report up in this story section of KGW.com. There you can also catch up on our prior ad fact checks.
Keep them coming, Pat. Okay, Laurel and I are getting excited because a quick reminder, KGW and the Oregonian will co-host the final debate in the race for Oregon governor. That is this Wednesday evening at 7. You can watch it live on all of our platforms, including KGW Plus, which you'll find on Roku or on the Fire TV app, and of course, at KGW.com.